Welcome back to another episode of the PO3 Podcast. My name is Marx. Hey, man, relax. Roadrunner. Nah, we're good. We're good. This is live. This is organic. Yeah. My name is Marx.
And I'm Victor Jr.
Welcome to the PO3 Podcast, episode 14.
Yeah, I got excited.
We're almost halfway to 30.
Dang.
So what's up, man?
No, I'm just looking at the election results stuff, just going through that, just waiting anxiously like everybody else.
Open the wrong one. Cheers.
But, cheers.
White Claw.
But, that's one thing. A lot of people's anxieties are going up.
Here we go.
They've been up and they're going up more. And it's going to take a while, people. Just be patient. Be patient out there. Relax and continue doing you. Continue being you. Continue doing what you're doing in your everyday life. Because regardless of how it goes, it's out of our hands, but...
You're still going to have to go to work the next day.
That's right. Still have to make money. Still have to protect yourself from corona.
You're still going to have to get up, brush your teeth, brush your hair, wipe your ass, wash your nuts, whatever you do in the morning, make your eggs,
And if you don't do that, then, more power to you then.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, he's saying... What we're saying is what I'm saying is that life goes on. It must continue. The world's not going to stop for anybody.
So don't stop your life right now. Keep going.
Let's do this. Do you watch our episodes? Did you watch the last one?
The last one? No, I didn't.
No.
The one before that, yeah.
No, the one we just put out.
Just put out, no.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Dude.
What's up?
I'm just kidding. I'm just wondering if you watch them. I watch them.
Well, yeah, the first one we put out.
I watch them for like the aesthetics and stuff. I want to see like how like our setup looks and everything. I got some good feedback. I mean, people seem to like the candle and everything and the whole setup, and I think it looks really good. So
I think it looks good. You did a badass job, man.
Hey, man. I don't take compliments well.
Well,
what do I say when you give me a compliment from now on? What should I say? What's the good training and protocol?
I accept that.
I accept that.
Yes.
See, I didn't even mean that. I'm just saying it because you told me to say it.
No, I mean, accept it. Shit. It is like we talk about accepting all who you are, what you do, your
my
mental
idiosyncrasy.
Illness, yeah, all that bullshit. Accept it. Just accept it.
Do you think I'll get in trouble if I leave this right here? Like, if I show the label? Because I'm endorsing it.
Well,
White Claw.
Pretty good.
I like White Claw.
This is my first time ever trying it.
Really? Okay, so the first time I had one, I didn't know what these were and stuff. And so normally like beer, I don't like to drink it. I switched to like whiskey and stuff because beer gets me so bloated and I'm allergic to the wheat. So it gets me like all like I get hives sometimes and I get asthma, like my asthma acts up. And then so I got off beer. Like it's too heavy. And then when I had these, I was like 4 in or something like that, dude. And I wasn't getting bloated or anything like that. Like nothing. It was just like a clean buzz. Because it's just alcohol and like, carbonated water really. And a little bit of sugar.
Yeah. Okay.
Super flavorful.
It's kind of like one of those, it tastes like one of those wine coolers. Those old wine coolers.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never, my aunt used to drink those all the time, dude. I just remember her like so many memories of her just like sitting by the pool with my mom, and then they all have like the old school wine coolers. They look kind of like Kool-Aid, and they had like the bottle. It was shaped like that, and then it had like a little gold neck around it. It was like super super old school.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they sell them like that anymore.
5% alcohol.
So my bad though. I didn't mean to cut you off on your politics. What you were talking about.
No. I like.
I called you the other day asking, who the hell do you think is gonna win?
And you know what? We're just waiting on one state. That's Nevada.
That says Trump's losing right there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's 264 for Biden, and then Donald Trump is 214.
I was going for Kanye, but that's crazy, huh? Fucking Kanye West. Imagine that.
What if he did? I wonder what he did.
Honestly, dude, like the dude, people can say what they want about him, but if you listen to the podcast that he was on Joe Rogan, like, okay, yeah, he goes off on a lot of rants and stuff, and he says a lot of like shit that's out there, but when he actually breaks it down and reverse engineers what he's saying and his thoughts, he's actually making some sense. Like, he's not as crazy as people make him out to seem. He just has so many thoughts going on in his mind at one time that it's hard for him to just stay on track. And it makes him seem like he's coming off like manic or something like that. But the stuff he was saying wasn't too far-fetched. Like, it wasn't crazy like dude, I'm talking to aliens and I seen God and God told me to, like, it was no, like, it was all scientific based. So, I mean, I don't
Oh
know. I think the
yeah.
guy's a lot smarter than people give him credit for.
Yeah. Not only that, but it's mental illness. Just get some medication to help his mind slow down or
Well, he
something.
got off it. He said that
Oh.
it stifled his creativity and it kind of grayed over his eyes and stuff. And it took the part of him that made him unique and made him think the way that he thinks, that creates, he created the Yeezys, he's a billionaire now. If had it been for medication for him, I'm not saying don't get on medication or anything like that. It's just for him in that particular case, medication wasn't the answer for him and he didn't like the way it affected him, you know.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if he actually stopped or he tried different cocktails of medication just and adjusted his dosages to see what did work for him because that
That's
matters a lot too.
Yeah, it does. Maybe he didn't get it right and he just didn't like it the first time. Maybe
I'm
they
not
gave him the
sure.
wrong dose. But they said that he said that they diagnosed him as bipolar. They tried to say he was bipolar, but I don't think he buys it. So I don't know. I don't know if he's ever had a manic episode, but I mean, there's a lot of footage of him on stage like screaming and crying and stuff. So it's like, who knows what
Yeah.
kind of stress he was under? I don't have any context within like his life. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what goes on behind closed doors, because everybody goes through shit.
Oh
That'll
yeah.
make you do that,
Oh, I
especially
know.
being in the spotlight. So who knows? I mean, just because he was crying on stage and yelling and screaming shit doesn't mean he was having a manic episode. But I mean, they were trying to say he was bipolar.
Maybe
So
he's just tired of all the bullshit going around.
maybe I don't know. Maybe because he's really smart and he recognizes things that Gee, thanks. We're doing a podcast. I just got an Amazon package. But anyway, yeah. So, uh, lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. It's yeah, Kanye. I just hope he gets help for himself. At least, if anything, the least counseling.
Got to do one thing. Oh, go ahead.
You know, he's got to see a psychologist or somebody and get himself medicated at least on an adjusted dose that's gonna help him.
It
At
don't. It
least
don't.
sleep.
It don't seem like he's gonna get on it.
No,
Nah,
I
he didn't.
mean,
He didn't like
to
it.
each one your choice. To each one your choice.
That's why I said, like, look, I'm not saying don't get on medication, but for him, he just didn't want to be on it, and it is a personal choice.
Yeah,
You do have the right to make a decision whether or not you want to be on medication or not. Now, that's way different from somebody who's a complete psychopath and needs to get put on medication because they're going to hurt others. That's way different. If you got it under control, at least you think you do, and you can deal with the depression or whatever, then,
I
you
wonder
know.
how far that law goes. Though, like, if somebody's completely psychotic to where they can't even think right, like who?
Well,
But then they're
that's why
over 18. Do they
they
still
call you
make?
5150 and they have to lock you up.
Oh, so they have
So
to lock you up.
if they recognize that your behavior is too reckless and you're putting
Yeah.
others in harm as well as yourself, then they're going to lock you up, take you away. Your rights kind of, don't quote me, go out the window, and they mark you down 5150. So, and that's when you have to be medicated. So I think that's the loophole there.
Oh, okay. So, well, I'm sure there's people who are actually fucked. Like
Yeah, they are legit
fucking
Looney
locked up
Tunes.
right now, and they have mental illness. They're really fucked up, and they need those medications. But it, I wonder if how many. What's the? I gotta look. I gotta research all this because I want to know what the
Google,
percentage is. No, I
look it
know,
up,
but
man.
I'm sure it's gonna take some time. But
It's okay.
I wonder what the percentages are for actually, getting locked up, getting help, getting your medications, and then getting back out to being compliant on those medications.
Well, I
Because I'm
mean,
sure they'll get locked up again if they're
I
do
mean,
something
dude,
fucked up.
schizophrenia is a very, very serious illness, a mental illness, and it will drive people to kill sometimes in more severe cases. You hear stories like that. So if you could take somebody who's a schizophrenic, put them on medication and make them better, then I'm sure it's possible for anybody. I mean, unless you're like a Michael Myers type character and there's no hope for you at all. But I feel like just because your brain is wired a certain way, I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't fix it in most cases. Some
No,
cases,
no,
maybe.
you
Some
can't.
cases, maybe. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure you could rewire your brain. And that was one of the things I
Well,
wanted to get into today. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
yeah, that no, because it's not really. There's so many different stages of it. Like for myself, for example, I thought I could talk to my archangels. I thought I could talk to angels. I thought I could, I thought I was here for a purpose. That I was on a mission, and I'm basically gonna heal the world and all this other stuff. And I just remember not being able to distinguish what part of it was I dreaming or what part of it's real? Even when I would sleep and have a continuous dream and continually dream the next night, whatever left off the night before, really got me fucked up thinking is maybe we are here in this world, and then when we go to sleep, then we're actually in another part of another world because I had those dreams consecutively and it kind of like left
So it
off.
kind of solidified, like, okay, like I'm pretty sure now when I go to sleep, I'm gonna go to this other world, like all
Yeah,
the other
so
nights. So it kind of like, how could you not think that? You know that when you, but who knows really? Like, because when you go to sleep,
mhm.
you're completely sedated. There's no really telling, like, unless you got a camera on you. But even if you have a camera on you, that doesn't tell you what's inside of your
Yeah,
mind. So they would
exactly.
have to like hook you up to like a brain scanner, and
Yeah.
like see what's going on there through like brainwaves and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, Elon Musk, he's like working on something called gotta look it up. But
Neuralink.
Neuralink, yeah, the Neuralink. So they kind of has something to do with that, you know. They basically put it on they tested it on pigs, I think. And then they were able to like read the brainwaves of the pig in like real time and translate it through sound or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I've seen a long time ago before, like on YouTube somewhere way deep down the rabbit hole, there was a video where they were able to take somebody's dreams and put them into sound form and then like somehow develop that into a picture. Yeah, so they were able to like
Damn.
read their don't quote me. They were I'm gonna put a little ding sound every time I say don't quote me. Ding. And it's gonna count it.
I know, right?
But yeah, like they were able to like convert those brainwaves into like a picture form. So they're saying extrapolating that information in the future. Um the way technology is going, they're going to be able to eventually. So, like when you're going to sleep, so say you're having those dreams, right, where you're not sure if you're going into another world, they'll they'll be able to confirm that you are having dreams like that because they would be able to physically see it on a screen,
That's
like with the
cool.
Neuralink type of
Dude,
stuff. Yeah,
I'd volunteer for that.
I would too. Have you ever had like sleep analysis before?
Yeah,
I have too.
for
When
sleep
I
apnea.
Yeah, when okay, not for that, but I had it
Oh, okay.
because of, you know, what I went through when I was younger and stuff,
Oh
and they
yeah.
wanted to know what the hell was going on, so I had to the protocol was you had to stay up for 24 hours straight, no sleep. That way, when you go over there, you get the deepest REM sleep that you can so they could accurately, or as most accurate as they can, read the information that's getting back, so, we stayed up for 24 hours. My dad actually stayed up with me, so that was sweet of him, and, yeah, so it's kinda making me like sad. Just
Oh,
no, but yeah, because it's crazy, you know, just like thinking
yeah.
of what I put my parents through and stuff. But yeah, so you stay up for 24 hours and stuff, and then so you get to the hospital, and then they hook up like all kinds of wires and stuff to your brain, like they gel the little wires and stuff, and they hook it all up to your you know your skull and stuff, and then they put like a little like a heart rate monitor on you and stuff, and then the whole thing is you're supposed to go to sleep so they can read you the the information. But I was so scared that I couldn't fall asleep.
Damn, they're like, this one's really
No,
bad.
no, so like
They're like, leave them awake
I
for
could
4 days.
I couldn't fall asleep. So like my like I don't know if my dad was pissed, but I could tell he was frustrated because we went through all that. Like we
Yeah.
made the appointment, like we were preparing
No, but I
for it,
mean, it's
and then
understandable.
and then I got there and I couldn't fall asleep, dude. So I was like, damn, I just failed another test. Why don't you, you know? So I don't even think I got any information from that because I didn't fall asleep. So I basically stayed up another freaking well, left the hospital, probably went to sleep when I went home, you know.
I wonder if your anxiety kept you awake too, though.
Well, that's what it was.
Oh, it was all anxiety.
No,
Yeah.
but that's what was keeping me awake. Was yeah, I was afraid of, you know, whatever the situation was. I was just intimidated by it, and it was yeah, something as simple as anxiety keeping me up and preventing me
Yeah.
from falling asleep. That wasn't the problem of what was going on, but yeah, that's why I stayed awake.
It's kind of like those times to where like you go to do your blood work, but then you have to give a urine sample, and then you have to go pee,
And then you can't pee.
and then you can't pee, and you're like, "Fuck! I just drank a hell of coffee and water." You can't pee. You can't pee. You can't pee. You're waiting. You're like, just hold up. They bring you more water. You go, and then finally you're able to go. Right. So you go, and then you're done. Then you get in your car, and fuck, I have to go again.
I've never done that.
Then I have to go again.
Every time I've gone to the doctor, I've always been able to piss on cue, so it's always been good. Even if it was just like the most minute amount of piss, like I've always been able to pull it off
Oh, yeah.
somehow.
You're all trying to. You're. Oh.
Well, in the morning, yeah. Every time you take a piss, you gotta fart. You know, if you don't fart, you're not human. Yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk about because we were kind of getting into the rewiring your brain type of thing is so that's one of the things I'm working on as far as OCD goes. Um, Remember, I mean, I've mentioned that I've had OCD to you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say that it started like childhood, like super young to the point where it wasn't like it wasn't I don't know, my mind just did it on its own, you know, that's just how my brain worked. I was creating these rituals and stuff, and my brain just I don't know what made me do it, but this was prior to like that traumatic event. This was prior to that. So I was already having OCD symptoms and stuff. Um, but like, okay, so think about it. I'm 7 years old or whatever, already having OCD, and then I do it all throughout high school, my 20s, and then here I am beginning my 30s, you know. So what that does to your brain, you know, these patterns that you get into, your thought patterns, that wires your brain a certain way and it
Yeah.
creates these neural pathways. And the more that you do those patterns and stuff, the deeper those neural pathways get. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
Mhm.
The deeper those neural pathways get. So that's just the way your brain is wired, you know, for the rest of your life. So that's why it's hard to come out of those habits and those rituals and stuff because your brain is like almost like attached to that way of thinking and it's stuck in that groove and it can't get out, you know. It's like imagine just being in a like going down like a ditch or whatever, and then like the further you go down it, the deeper it gets. So like the further you go down it, and the deeper it is, the harder it is to get out of that. You know, you kind of got to
Yeah.
backtrack and work your way out to where you can eventually climb out of that. You know, so what I've been doing though, I mean, I've tried this numerous on numerous occasions to try to like rewire my brain and just like resist those rituals when I notice that they're happening, and I've had no luck with it. You know, like up until just recently. You know, but for the first time ever, I finally told myself, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm pretty sick of this, and I really, really need to work on rewiring my brain and
Yeah.
reconstructing my thought patterns and stuff because this is not healthy. It's creating unnecessary anxiety, and really, like, what do I got to lose here? I have everything to gain. So what I started doing was when I felt myself trying to do those rituals, I just said, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Like even the more serious ones, you know.
Like, what was one of the rituals? Like, describe it.
So for me, presented itself in a lot of different forms. So like numbers and stuff, or like even something as simple as looking at you right now. Like if I look away from you, I gotta maybe look in your left eye or your right eye. It just depends on what you know where my mind is in that
Or look
time.
like
So
this.
if to put it in perspective for you, like the reason I'll have to look away in your right eye is because in my head it associates the word right as correct, and then left means left, like they left you, like abandonment, you know, like left. So I have to
Oh,
look
okay,
away
I
on your
see.
right eye. And that's like anybody. I remember driving down the freeway as a young kid. My mom would be in the driver's seat, obviously, and I'd be looking in the mirror and stuff, and I couldn't look away until I like looked away, leaving on my right eye, you know. So I'd be
Yeah.
like looking in the mirror and stuff, like the rear view, and just being like this, and she'd be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" and stuff. Or okay, so that, and then like numbers. So, for me, numbers presented themselves, and my safe numbers were all even numbers for the most part, you know. So, like 22, 24, 26. So, like sevens, I didn't like them because for whatever reason, I associated seven with death. And to me, seven always pops up as green. Like green is always the number that seven is. So, that goes into something else that I think it's even a light form of synesthesia, which is if you don't know what synesthesia is, it's basically a form of you ever heard of ASMR?
Mm.
You've never heard of ASMR? Like, okay, those channels, look it up. The
Mhm.
channels where they go, it's called autonomous sensory meridian response. So basically, it's where you can feel sound or see sound or see color, you know, or
Like an
you can
aura?
taste a different sense. You can taste a certain smell. So that's what synesthesia is. And so for me, ASMR, it's those videos where they're freaking whispering and they're talking like this and they're going over like certain products and they're looking at them and they're tapping like this. And it's like supposed to be real relaxing. The reason that they're doing that is because for the people that have, I guess, that slight form of synesthesia is when they hear those certain sounds, it triggers certain tingles throughout their body and on throughout their head and stuff. So
Oh, okay, I
and
see.
you know when I noticed I had that, I must have been in fourth grade. No joke, fourth grade. I remember the teacher was doing something very specific, and I'll explain the scenario. So the teacher was passing out beans because we were playing bingo. And when he was passing the beans out, I remember the sound of the bean leaving his finger and like hitting the table like that. The sound that it made was like super satisfying to me. And I remember like going up to him and putting my ear to his freaking finger like this And I was be like, everybody was like, "What the fuck you doing?" I was like, "I love the sound that it's making right now." Like, because I don't, for whatever reason, it was the texture and the sound that it was creating was like super fascinating and like super soothing to me. So that's what ASMR is, you know.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, maybe a form of synesthesia. That's why circling back to why the number 7 for me was always green, because a lot of people with synesthesia, the reason that those people are so good at being able to remember like huge like number patterns, like they can count all the way from, or they can memorize like certain like 30-digit numbers. You know, they can memorize them because those numbers will always present themselves in certain colors or shapes. So that's a whole nother topic to get into. But so for me, like 7 was always related to death for whatever reason.
Probably
8,
because 7 with angels or something,
I
maybe.
think so. Probably something stupid like that from when
Yeah.
I was a kid. 5 is always death too. And 5 to me is like an orange color. And for whatever 5 is death. 9 is not good because I associate it with something. And then yeah, so stuff like that. So what that ties into is when I'm like like listening to music in the car, or driving, you know, or changing the channel on the TV when I can't hear it. When I turn the volume up, it has to be on 16, or it has to be on 18,
Mm.
or it has to be on 22, an even number. So if it sounds too low at like 22, I'm still gonna leave it there because I don't want to go to 23 when that sounds right.
Have you ever
You
heard of
know?
numerology?
No, I haven't. Wait, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark here. Was that something with numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, what about it?
It's well, they go everything is, everything adds up to a certain number. Like,
Oh, like the
for
movie
example,
23?
yeah. So basically, like, for like me, my number, I've always been attracted to the number 9, whatever. Well, that's my birth number. It's my birth date, all those the addresses. All the dates of my birth all add up to the number 9, or equal the number 9. So have you tried doing all that or looking up information like that?
No, I never went that far as to like looking into it and why. I just always complied with the numbers. You
Yeah.
know, I
No, there's
never.
a lot of websites out there. It's pretty interesting actually.
Yeah.
Even in, like, from what I heard, even some religious groups, they look through numerology.
Okay.
It's
No, no.
interesting.
I mean, it never went. I mean, it was deep enough, but it was. I didn't. It didn't really bother me enough. Numbers didn't bother me enough to like want to go into, because it always made sense to me of why I was doing what I was doing. So I didn't really need any further explanation for it. So I didn't dig any deeper. You know, I was
Yeah.
doing it because these numbers meant something to me. You know, but so yeah, I mean, it would present itself in a number of ways, or even like if I'm watching TV and I see, okay, it's a scene of a doctor and it's a scene of a dying patient and he's operating on the patient. If I feel like I'm looking at the patient too much, I feel like for some reason, since I'm looking at that patient, that's gonna happen to me. So I gotta look away, and then I gotta look back at the doctor.
So
And then when I'm watching, so it all day, like I'd be watching, or like all night, I'd be watching a movie and not even noticing that I keep looking away and taking a deep breath. And so I'm like, when I look at the doctor, I have to take a deep breath because I want more of that energy in me than the fucking patient. So it's like I want more of
oh,
the person who's not gonna die, or the person who's successful, you know, the doctor, you know, to
yeah.
be inside of me, you know. No, don't. I know what you're thinking there. It's not sexual. But yeah,
Well,
so I'd be
shit,
doing it all night,
you
not
just
even
killed
noticing.
my fucking fantasy. No, I'm just playing. No,
No.
no. You know what though? It kind of sounds like, it almost sounds as if it's like a deep rooted belief. Like, there's something deeply rooted within you that thinks or believes that if you do keep on staring at that, or if you keep on looking at that, like, that it is going to happen. Kind of like, when we're younger and our parents say, if you keep going in there, the boogeyman's going to get you.
It's just superstition, yeah. So that's why now, like even though I knew that all these years, like I knew it was bullshit. And I knew like most likely it's not gonna happen. But I mean, have you ever heard of synchronicity?
Yeah, I've heard of synchronicity.
Okay, so synchronicity, they call it synchronistic events when stuff like that happens. So say
Mhm.
you're thinking of somebody, right? I'm thinking of Edward or whatever. Edward, whatever. I'm thinking of him in a certain moment. I'm just at home minding my own business, eating a sandwich, watching TV, and a thought pops in my head.
Mhm.
Damn, I haven't heard from Edward in a while. Like, how come I haven't heard from him? And then he calls
Mhm.
in that very moment. So that's SE. That's a synchronistic event. So for whatever reason, coincidence, call it whatever you want, when I would have these OCD, you know, rituals, for whatever reason, a synchronistic event would follow. And that's kind of what solidified it for me and made me believe it even
I
more.
get you.
So like what you were saying, thinking that it would really happen, in my head they were really happening. So, but I'm also rational and logical about things. So I know, like, okay, just because I don't look at you in your left eye when I leave off means you're gonna
Yeah.
leave me tomorrow, So I'm too old for this shit now, is what I'm saying, And you can be OCD. This is a preventable stress in my life. I can prevent it, even though I'm stuck in my ways and my thought patterns are what they are. My neural pathways are so deep to this point where it's gonna take a lot of work for me to, create new thought patterns.
Yep.
I'm putting in the effort now to where I think I'm in like 2 weeks of no rituals. Like I've just been leaving the TV on whatever number, the volume on whatever. I'll look at you and I'm trying
That's
like
hard,
what
huh?
it's getting easier. I'll tell you that. In the beginning it was hard. It's getting a lot easier though. So like but you also have to notice when you're doing them because you're so used to
Yeah.
doing them that you don't notice when you're doing them
You have to
sometimes.
recognize it. Yeah.
So
I remember doing that with the TV, changing it, and it had to land on either 9, 14, 27.
so if 27 was a shit channel, but it's your number, you
Yeah.
got to keep it there.
Yeah. And I just throw the remote here. You change it. Put on whatever it is that you want. Or the volume.
Oh yeah, the volume is the most annoying thing to me because if I can't hear it right, I'm not enjoying it, but I'm not gonna move the number because the number it needs to be at that fucking number.
That one above it's too loud and that one below it's too low.
It's always like that, huh? It's always the ones that don't suit you and they're not your safe numbers, the ones that always end up working out the
That's what
the
it
right
seems
way.
like anyways.
But you know what? I'm just looking at this as an opportunity for me to grow and just hit another milestone in my life and overcome something else because mental illness is it's considered a mental illness, correct? Not a mental illness, but a disorder or something like that, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Can you look it up to see if OCD is considered a mental illness?
Yeah, it is. And I believe it's also one of the biggest suicide rates.
I've never really, it's because I put it in perspective for myself too. And I've watched videos of people that have very, very severe OCD and compare mine in comparison to theirs is very, very mild. I'd put it in, I would rate it a mild case because there's people that literally wash their hands for like 3 or 4 hours a day. They scrub in the shower 3 or 4 hours a day before, excuse me.
Like, damn.
They scrub in the shower 3 or 4 hours a day before they can even get their day started, And they do these like rituals. Have you ever seen True Life on MTV?
A while back.
There was a segment they had on MTV called True Life, and one of them was True Life. I have OCD, and it was these people that would just like, dude, before they even got their day started, the rituals that they would go through was like ridiculously time consuming and unnecessary, but they had to do them.
Anxiety was sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay, anxiety, but OCD is considered an anxiety disorder.
Oh yeah, because if you're not doing what
it creates anxiety.
It creates.
That's what it is. So basically, like the OCD, it's like it's fear based. You're fearful of something happening to you, and I remember that even that being on the show, like the psychiatrist or psychologist was telling the patient like, it's nothing is gonna happen if you don't do these rituals. You just have to fight through the pain and really just let it happen, like and you'll see that when you don't give into those rituals, you're gonna see that you're okay. You might not be in the best mental state. Like it might cause a little bit, a lot of anxiety and sweating and sweaty palms. You might pass out from, your heart rate going up and you hyperventilating, but you're not gonna,
on that crack's not gonna.
Yeah, but you're not gonna die. You're gonna be okay. So that was like the first step for them. And so that's where I'm at, dude. I'm just really like I'm fighting it because I put it in perspective. For me it's a mild case, so I rate it. I'm self-diagnosing, whatever, because I've seen it in comparison to people that really have it like very badly, and I know I can beat it. So that's just one of those things. It's just one of the steps towards checking another thing off the list,
And they got to do more during times like this. During COVID is what I'm trying to say for mental health issues. For meeting with psychologists online and stuff, because even to get an appointment, but the county only has a couple of psychologists actually here available, and
that's even if you get a good one.
Yeah, and then you have COVID going on, and it just sucks because I know I'm on a wait list, but you just gotta see for a psychologist here in.
I really want to go. I really want to go seek therapy, and I have yet to call.
Yeah, they just need to do something online or something.
Well, I mean, you could see the process to get into the doctor's office, get seen, get the whole process going. It just takes forever. It almost makes you like, is it worth it? But yeah, it is. I mean, of course it's worth it, but it's like people with mental illness, they only have like they only have a very short attention span for stuff like that. There's only so much effort you're gonna put towards doing it. Like me, like I haven't even called yet. Like it's not as simple as making a call, but the first step is making the call the office, see if they take your insurance, and then see if that gets you in.
So now you know
And
what
I've
to
yet to
do.
do that. No, but I've yet to do it. Like even before I was talking about I want to go fix my teeth and stuff. I haven't called the dentist
Shit, I need to fix
yet.
my teeth. Damn. Well, I was having trouble with my insurance too, but we'll see what happens. I straightened it out yesterday, so they said give it another 24 hours. So 24 to 48 hours, and it's all state. Right
Mhm.
now it's good. It's good for what it is, and it's just being patient, and that's my whole thing to myself and everybody, especially during what's happening right now. A lot of people have a lot of major anxiety. Like I could imagine what some people that don't know how to deal with it, what they're going through right now in their life. I mean, think about it. It's probably pretty tough.
No, it is tough because if you have no context on what the hell is wrong with you in the first place, then you're not going to understand or recognize what is even going on inside of you or what is causing you to feel the way you're feeling. The same thing happened for me when I was just lucky enough to uh this is me looking at a glass half full, because just I do have these problems in my life,
Mhm.
but I'm still fortunate that it happened to me at such a young age that I was able to use those years to understand what was going on with me and recognize it to now to get to a point now where I haven't had a panic attack like that with anxiety or anything in years, dude. Like I'm talking about over 15 years I haven't had a panic attack or anything like that. Nothing serious. Because when I was 14 and 15 going through that stuff, I had severe major panic attacks and stuff, and to the point where I didn't know cuz my whole thing was like I didn't know what was going on. You're a kid. You have no context. You're not.
Yeah.
And then when Google wasn't like it was around, but like not everybody had a computer, and stuff. So you can't just hop on. You didn't have your phone. You couldn't just hop on. It wasn't that easy to just Google the information or your symptoms you're having. You had to go see a psychologist. And for me, I didn't even know how to explain it to the psychologist what was going on. I remember my parents asking me one time because I was having such a severe panic attack, and I was obviously having a little. I was dissociating as well. So that was another symptom that I didn't even
Yeah.
understand until recently. So how are you gonna understand that as a young child? I remember them asking me, like, "What is wrong with you? You need to explain with us what's going on." And the only way that I could figure out how to explain to them was say, "I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stuck and trapped inside my own mind and I can't get out. Like I'm not how I used to be. That's as best as I can explain it. What are you gonna do with that information, as a parent?
Yeah.
As a psychologist, there's no context for you to
Well, if
grab
you're in
onto.
Mexico, they would take you to the
The witch
brujeria and be
doctor,
like,
huh?
"Ah, yeah,
They'll give you some snake oils. You know what my grandma
the
used to do to
huevo."
you know what my grandma used to do to me? And my aunt did this to me as well when I was going through what I was going through. This just goes to show how old school and my family is and how they grew up. My grandma used to do this thing, and I forget what it's called, but she would lay you on the couch, say a prayer with you. She would grab an egg,
The
and she
huevo.
would like, okay, what is that called?
It's oh shit, what is it called? I should know this.
Well, it's super old school, and it's like
It's
super.
curada. It's a curada that you
And that
get.
that what does that mean? A prayer or something?
It's a curing. A curada
Okay,
is
yeah.
like a
So I
curing.
would lay on the couch and then she would get the egg. And it felt really good. It was like very relaxing and stuff. It was quiet. 'Cause she's whispering, she's saying a prayer for you. She's taking the egg and she's like rubbing it, tapping it throughout your body from your head to the back of your ankles, all the way down. And
Yeah.
then I forget how many times she does it, but she does that ritual and then she tells you to go bury the egg. And the next morning you have to wake up and unbury the egg. And if the egg is red, that means that it took out the sickness in you. That's crazy, dude. I remember my aunt did
Mhm.
that to me one time too, because I was going through what I was going through, and somebody called her, and she wanted to do the egg on me, dude. Like whatever
They're
that
all
ritual was called.
uh,
And you know what? I wouldn't doubt it that maybe some of that affected the way my mentality is as far as OCD goes.
really.
No, well, think about it. If I was exposed to those type of superstitions as a kid, then wouldn't that kind of like because those are the years that you're developing. You're developing your mind. You're like a sponge. So if these people are telling you that this superstition is gonna work, then you're gonna kind of grow up thinking that. I'm just lucky enough that I didn't totally buy it. Like I really didn't. And that's no offense to anybody who believes that type of stuff or those superstitions or your culture, you know.
I remember that. I remember my family doing that. And then when I became a teenager, shit, the only level I was rubbing were my own levels.
Weren't we all? Weren't we all?
Fuck that.
But yeah, I mean, I remember doing that those type of rituals, dude, and like trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with me. And it's like, so going back to what you were saying again, how it's very hard to understand where to seek help if you don't know what is going on with you. So a big part of, you know, mental illness is understanding what your mental illness is and really paying attention to like your symptoms and everything that is going on with you. You have to really monitor yourself.
And opening up, speaking about it, being open about it at work, with your family, with friends, with everybody, because it's very common. It's more common than you actually think.
Who were the first people that you like remember opening up to about that type of thing?
My mom.
Yeah. And she was supportive about it? Or was she
she was more like, it's
let's get
probably,
the egg.
No. She was more like, oh, it's probably because of drugs, but that's the reason why I went to drugs. But it was, you know, deeper, and I hit a lot when I was younger, and then she understands, and she's just like, you know what, as long as you're keeping yourself medicated, away from drugs, and you're doing better, then that's all you have. Because that's what I've done. You know, I've kept myself away from drugs, doing a lot better for myself. I'm here with you. Well, I know, you know, yeah, I smoke. Yeah, I blaze.
I feel like that's not a big deal though.
You know, I drink, yes, but
unless you're like a recovering addict.
You know, and I'll probably get a lot of shit from people right now, or from recovering addicts, or from somebody, and that's okay. I don't give a shit. But I smoke and I drink, but I
wish I could smoke.
You know,
sometimes you need something to just take the edge off, you know, and that's what this is about, you know. Sometimes you gotta relax, and if you're responsible about it, I'm not gonna go drive around town after I drink these, you know. Like I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna relax, you know.
It's not illegal, and we're doing it responsibly.
Yeah, so fuck off.
Bye.
I'm just kidding.
Motherfucker. No, but so yeah. But anyways, I'm not doing meth, is what I should say. Or
stop messing around, Dad. Stop messing around. You were messing around for a while, huh?
I was messing around for a long time. Not messing around no more. With this election bullshit, I'm not even gonna start messing around with nothing.
Were you like a curious little kid? Like what was the first thing that you tried?
I remember. It's
I'm
hard
trying to remember what I was saying.
Yeah, it's hard to remember what it is because my memories are up and down. But I remember the very first time smoking weed. I smoked weed and I didn't think I was getting high. So me and my cousin shared a room. And so I was laying down and in my bed. And then I was like, okay, nothing. And I told my cousin, I said, look, bro, because he's like my brother. He's like, look, I can't feel it. I don't think it works on me, whatever.
Maybe you guys got some dank weed.
Well, now that I'm older, I thought about it, but no.
The first time I smoked, though, I didn't get high either.
No, I did get high. I just didn't recognize it because it was dark in the room. And I was just laying on my side. And as soon as I turned around to the other side, it felt like my face stayed on one side and only my head moved. So I was fucking stoned. And I moved my head back right away. I was like, fuck, what the fuck
Okay, so initial reaction.
I love that feeling.
Initial reaction when that happened. What did you think?
I was like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened?
How old were you?
I was 13 years old.
Same age as me. But you and I are obviously built different because I freaked out like a little bitch.
Oh. Yeah.
But mine was way different. It was more intense. It was like super, super crazy. You know, it was wild. And that's what I was going to ask. When you were growing up and stuff, do you ever remember having talks with your parents about like maybe them telling or schooling you on like just simple life things like, look, don't do this, don't do that, like sex, drugs, alcohol, any of that stuff? Did you ever get those talks? Because I know I didn't.
No.
And I apologize if you guys did give me that talk and I don't remember, but I really don't recall it. I really don't recall receiving those talks about, yo, wear a rubber. Don't be fucking these bitches like this type of person, or don't. But
they signed the release to learn it in school.
Yeah, but
I guess they figured that
you don't give a fuck about those people telling you that stuff. You're more likely to listen to it if that information is being given to you by your
I
supporters, your
remember
parents.
I remember my mom signing off for me to learn that in school. I remember that. And I remember we where I went to school, there was like this hill, and me and a few of my friends went up on that hill, and we all had condoms because we saw it. Our teacher gave us one, and we were like in 7th grade. And we're like, "Oh, okay, let's put them on." So we're all standing there trying to put them on.
Stupid.
Yeah, we're just stupid kids, right?
I did it too.
My friends all, yeah, I could put it over my balls too.
It's got some small balls. Now you think about it, huh?
And then it was hella funny. And then we just like flipped them off, and like we just left them there. And then I wonder if like the custodians were cleaning later. And
Well,
like,
yeah, of
"Damn,
course
these
they're
fucking
gonna
horny ass kids."
that or an animal ate it or something. But yeah, somebody's gonna pick it up.
Oh, I know.
Did you guys nut at them?
Fuck it. No, not that.
You were too young, huh? Thank God.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen them before though. I've seen condoms like left out in the street and shit with nut, like in the goddamn condoms.
That's gross. So they're like fucking in the car and they just throw it out the window.
That's what happens. I remember being like when I lived at my mom's house. Like I remember the neighbor had a fling or whatever, and like they were in the car for a while, and you know what's going on. Like, and then I remember going out to my car and then like seeing a condom on the ground and shit, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers! You just how dare you leave a condom in front of my house? You know." So
I used
go park
to
in
think,
your spot.
I used to think, that was just dirty. Like, damn, how could a chick or a dude just degrade himself and be like, damn, yeah, we're just gonna do it in my car, and but they might not have anywhere else to go because I knew a couple.
Dude, if you're a teenager, you do it in the car.
No, even then, I knew a couple in their late 30s. They were married for a long time. They had 4 kids. They fucking said that they left their house. They were so horny, and the kids kept bothering them. They left their house. They went. They parked their car somewhere and fucked, and then they came back home. But I mean, the kids were like, one of them was 16, one of them was 10, all the way down. So
wait, what?
Like, yeah.
Say that again.
So I have I know this couple who've been married for years. They're in their late 40s. They have like 4 kids, right? One of them 16, the other one, the youngest, I don't know. And so
10.
They
you said 10.
They no, one's 10, and then I don't know what the other one is.
16.
No, there's 4 kids. There's 4 kids. Are you high?
No, you said there's this couple, 40-year-old couple. They had a kid that's 16. And then I don't know what the other one is.
Kids.
But then I said 10 because in your previous statement you said that they were 10.
16 and 10, and then I don't know what the other ones were.
Okay. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
No, so they actually, they could never have time to have sex, so they actually left their house and told the older kid, "Take care of the kids. We'll be back."
That's why I said say it again. I thought you said the kids were sneaking off and going and having sex.
No. I would whoop their ass.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like I never got that talk. That's why I was sneaking off as a kid. Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't sneak out a lot because I didn't have to. Honestly. I didn't want to go out and do shit for a long time because of what I was going through. So I never really snuck out. Like it wasn't a big deal. I remember my dad nailed the fucking thing shut. Like he nailed it shut when I was living. Because at one point I was living with my dad. At another point in my life I was living with my mom. Because they're divorced. But yeah, I never had to sneak out. Like my dad was pretty lenient, like with certain things. Like I got to go out. I got to do stuff. I think he just trusted me because he saw that I wasn't. Because what had already happened to me, he knew I wasn't gonna fuck with anything else. Even though as far as drugs go, I was surrounded by a bad crowd. Growing up and stuff, and we got in fights, and I was a lot of things. I don't know if my family's gonna see this, but like if they do, you go what you go through as a kid. I was in a a tagging group, as a kid growing up and stuff. But that's just a kid trying to fit in, And the only for me, my mind, I sought comfort in art, and that just manifested itself in graffiti, and then that's just what I grew up around as well. I remember being a kid and going into my cousin's room, dude, and he would, I don't know how, but like people would send him stuff from prison, and he would have like these taggings on his wall, and they were like 3D and stuff, and I would look at them and be like, God damn, that's so fascinating. Like I wanted to do that, and that was my first love before music or anything like that. I really got into graffiti and drawing and stuff.
Do you think that was an outlet for you from your OCD?
No. If anything, it kind of like made it worse because I was so picky about the colors and the. That's why I got good at what I was doing because it was so like calculated. Like I had to make sure this color blended with that color, So it just fed right into it. And the same thing with my music. Like when I edit these podcasts, like it has to be a certain way.
So is it harder to work with somebody? So say somebody else has exactly like, what you're going through. Would it be harder for you to work with a person like that?
Yeah, because I don't like to put up with it. That's
And,
why
and you're both picky. You're both, yeah.
That's
Okay, I
why.
see.
That's why. My hat's off to my girl because I don't understand how she puts up with me. As difficult as I can be, I already know that if the roles were reversed, I probably would have not left a long time ago. But if I realized that this person had these problems, I know that I'm the type of person that wouldn't want to involve myself into that type of thing because mentally I can't handle that type of stress because I'm already going through my own shit.
Yeah, no, I know, I understand.
So that's where the balance comes in, though.
Yeah,
she's the opposite of me. She's completely mellow, the most understanding person that I've ever met. That's why, I'm gonna marry her, and I asked her to be my wife and stuff. That's why she has a ring. Because I saw that in her, like that resilience, and I'm resilient too, but in my own way. I'm very sensitive to things, but we're complete opposites, and opposites do attract.
Oh, of course.
And it works out. There's a balance, a yin and a yang to everything.
The yin and the yang.
But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like working with people that are like that, I mean, you've witnessed it before. I'm not gonna say any names, but you've seen me work with somebody who's that picky, and I can't do it.
Yeah,
it's very hard
because you're both just bumping heads.
Because here's another thing too, depending on what we're doing together. Like if it is music, I've been doing this shit for 13, almost 14 years now. So if you're trying to tell me how to do my job, I'm gonna be like, hey, well, hold up, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna go to an accountant's office, and try and crunch my numbers, and when he spits some knowledge at me, I'm gonna be like, I think you're wrong. Like, no, this dude has a license for this, and this is what he does. He went to school for this.
That's why you're seeing the expert.
Yeah, that's why you came to me.
That's why you see the expert. And
So
that's why people need to represent themselves as the expert, because that's what you want to be, the expert. And if you're going to look for an expert to help you and you don't want to accept the expert's advice, then you need to learn it either on your own or someone who's willing to put up with that.
You see, that was a big thing, me growing up and learning. Luckily, I was just born with this. I don't know why, but I always knew that I wasn't the best at what I was doing. Even though I wanted to be the best, I knew that I wasn't. So whenever somebody would judge me, I would always take it as constructive criticism. And I knew to take it as that. I never took advice, or I never took criticism as like, man, you're just hating on me. Like, you're denying the fact that I'm great. Like, no, I knew that I was trash and my stuff didn't sound that good and I wasn't as good as this or as good as that as somebody else. I knew that I wasn't. I really looked at the facts and I was like, look, maybe I need to work on my beats, maybe I need to work on this or work on that. So if they're telling me that, they could probably hear something that I don't. That's why I'm taking into consideration what you're saying rather than being like, fuck this guy, I'm right. My shit is tight. Yeah. That's how you grow as a person, anything. If somebody's telling you you're behaving like a dick, you should probably pay attention to what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because if 100 people are telling you you're an asshole, you're probably an asshole.
Oh, you're probably an asshole.
And I am an asshole. Because 100 people have told me that. You know how many people, like prior to my fiance, how many people have told me that I would, because we date, you date, it is what it is. You date when you're younger, and that's how you find the right one. You have to date. You know how many fucking girls I've had tell me that I was bipolar, and I was like, nah, you're lying. Not you're lying, but I'd be like, I'd never believed it. I never believed it. And so many people would tell me that, dude. And I don't understand why I didn't see those signs, as a kid. But that's how serious this thing is, because even though you're being told that, you still don't recognize it.
Well, it's hard to recognize our faults, what we're not good at, or, especially, and we're all different. Some people will take it more offense than others. And those who are going to take offense to criticism, they just, I used to take offense to a lot of criticism before, but...
Like what, though? In what context?
I think I was more sensitive when it came to relationships. Like if I was getting criticized by a partner in my relationship, then I would take it more offensively. Like, you don't believe in me that much, or,
I can understand that.
I'd be like a little bitch.
I can completely understand that. I mean, if they're saying that you're not doing enough, then you kind of maybe look back and ask yourself, am I doing enough? And if you know that you are and they're still saying that, then fuck that person. But if they're telling you like you're just not up to their standards for whatever aesthetic reason,
I think that's what
then that's fucked
standards.
Up. Yeah, because a lot of people are shallow,
Yeah.
And I've never been. I feel like I've never been a shallow person to a certain extent, But I've never. That was never the number one priority in my relationship. Like,
you like to go deep in your relationship.
I'd rather have you be a great person and vibe with me and make me laugh, than you have a nice smile or something like that. That is not priority over personality for me, because it's more important. We're gonna grow old and all this shit,
Oh yeah, it's all gonna be
it's going, bro. It's going.
Look at the grandparents' pictures when you get to the house.
Kiss it goodbye. That's what.
Look at the parents' pictures when you get to the house.
Honestly, dude, I've just become so more grateful for everything. I don't even. You're not supposed to say more grateful. I've just become so much more grateful for everything in my life that I have because I've been putting in the work to make myself look at my surroundings and my circumstances and really, really think about the bigger picture and look, this is all temporary. I got to keep that in my mind. I got to know it's temporary and I have to count my blessings and I have to be thankful.
And you're in a good relationship.
I have everything I need, dude.
And you're doing things. You're actually taking action in your life. You're doing what you want to do. You're doing what you believe in doing, and you're already in your relationship. A lot of people go through their relationships and they give up right away because they're not getting something out of whatever it is.
We've all done that, though. I mean, but that you learn, though. You live and you learn, I mean, you got to go through those shitty fucking relationships to get to the good ones, And you got to learn yourself. You got to learn who the hell you are.
Oh, yeah.
How are you going to react how are you going to react in a certain situation when this, scenario presents itself,
Yeah, that's the key.
Okay, so when you would be with your, your significant others, did you ever ask how many people have you been with? Or
no, not really.
Me either.
Because it doesn't really matter. Because,
doesn't matter.
I mean, what for? And then when I'm asked, I okay, if you want to hear the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth, but don't use it against me.
What's the truth?
Don't use it against me.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to put you on blast.
No, I mean, I don't even care because I'm pretty straight up. From those that I can remember.
Don't say it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But yeah,
as long as they're, between 40 and 50, then they had my attraction when I was 18, 19 years old. I was like, damn.
Were you always into older people or younger people?
Older, yeah.
Older?
Yeah.
For what reason?
I don't know, because men that have gray hair and they're just, I don't know, they're just handsome, just, I like myself, I'm not fit, but, a nice looking gentleman, not no.
So that's another thing. Okay, so what's your preference? Tall, in shape, or chunky, and I like potato chips.
I like them tall and
potato chips
and thick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and real thick. Yeah, they'll like a burger. They'll eat a burger, some beef and potatoes, because you know how I like to cook. So
yeah, you love it. He's always cooking. Every time I go to his house, he always feeds us, me and my fiance, all the time. He always feeds us. That's why I feel I never could. I did cook you guys shit one time. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so one time they came over, him and his friend, and I wanted to host. We hadn't been in our certain place that we moved into for a while. So I was like, hey, I told my fiance, I was like, hey, let's host. We're going to have them over. We'll cook. I'll make some burgers and stuff. And they came over and
they were still mooing.
I swear to God, I cooked those burgers for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And the grill was hot. I got to their plate. They bit into it. It was all bloody and red, dude.
Bleeding.
It wasn't
just the. But hey, bro, for reals though, what did I say? Did I even
Nothing.
say anything?
Nah, dude, you were such a fucking gentleman in the sport. He took it to the microwave. He was like, it's good. I'll take it to the microwave and I'll fucking heat it up. And he ate that motherfucker. The other person, he was very he didn't want to be rude, but I could tell he was grossed out. Yeah, and I felt like an idiot because I shouldn't have drank when I was cooking those burgers, but I don't know what happened, dude. That's never happened to me in my life.
That's every guy says that.
No, I swear to God. Yeah. That's never happened. I swear to God.
You know what? It was just, what's the problem of just, like I said, just stick it in the microwave. Just, finish it up.
Just stick it in the booty hole.
Yeah, finish it up. And mine was perfect. I was even eating before everybody else because it cooked up pretty good.
But that's just you being a sweetheart, though. You are not somebody who's going to be rude when you go to someone's house. If they're inviting you to eat, you're not going to be one to complain about the food because you're grateful enough that somebody is having you over.
Because I'm eating from their home.
Dude,
I'm taking from them is what I feel,
And that's another thing too about I don't have a lot of friends, and I can only say I have a very I could probably count them on this hand, and that changes over the years, But of course you want friends. But I don't remember the last time I got invited to anybody's place to do anything. So when like stuff like that comes up, I'm like super grateful and excited about it. Like I can't wait to go do it, Like
Yeah.
like it's like so yeah, I get it. Like I would never if somebody invited me to go do something like that, I would never like criticize their cooking and shit, But still, I fucked the burgers up.
Yeah. No, he did fuck him up. But
They
I would bring him up and be like, yeah, you fucked him up a while, or bring it up as a joke.
You didn't say nothing though.
Yeah, but that day I didn't say nothing.
You get down on some food though, We used to have poker nights a lot too. We got to do that again.
Yeah, we will. We'll start that up again.
I love poker.
Gotta get that. Yeah.
How about okay.
I don't care for that because I like poke 'em better.
Poke 'em? I like poke her. You know me. How about okay, so your homie, right? When we went to go over there and play poker, I remember he was like asking me like how I don't know if he was asking me for tips or whatever on poker, but I played poker for a long time, I've always played poker and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've won a tournament or two, I've won some money, I feel like I'm pretty good. I can hold my own in a poker game. But there was an app called Texas Hold'em Poker or whatever. And he showed me his app and he was like, I won 1.4 million or something like that. I was like, watch this. I fucking sent him a screenshot of my winnings and stuff, and it was like 6.2 billion or something like that. But I was fucking with him. That was not mine. I looked on. He thought it was real though. I just wanted to psych him out for the next time we played.
Google Images.
No, yeah, it went to Google Images. I was like, highest earnings on Texas Hold'em Poker, and it like that popped up. It was like,
you basically kind of, in a way, it's kind of catfishing them, right?
Yeah, but it's
in a certain kind
it's
of
poker
way.
though.
Yeah,
it's poker. You got to get in your opponent's head.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, so
yeah, I don't gamble.
I don't gamble.
I don't gamble my money.
I don't gamble because I'm not that lucky. I'm really not that lucky. I'm really not.
I mean, I don't
remember the last time I won a scratcher.
Wait, hold up. I'm lying like a motherfucker right now. Because I will pull up a scratcher now and then, or I'll buy a lottery ticket now and then. So yeah, you know what? I'm lying. I do gamble.
I want to play the new Monopoly ones that came out. Is that the Monopoly one that came out? The new scratchers? For it. Type it in. Type in new scratchers. There's a new one that came in. And I was at the liquor store the other day and they had it and I was gonna buy it, but they only took cash.
Yeah, they don't. I know that's weird, huh? They'll only take cash from. And I saw somebody trying to get it with their EBT and they're like, no, we don't take EBT.
You remember was it last year or the year before that the California State Lottery was like it was $1 billion, right? It hit $1 billion.
It was like
even me and my fiance went and played
200 or 2 billion, wasn't it? Or
something
was it 1 something.
It was
billion
insane, dude. Yeah. It was insane. So we even played and we never played, but we were like, we gotta just get like, you never know, let's go put our numbers in. And me being OCD, like I picked certain numbers.
Okay, so here's a Cal Lottery. Let me see scratchers. But they say that's good to pick different numbers, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to pick the untypical ones. I don't know. Don't quote me.
Or to stay with the same numbers that you pick all the time, to always play those.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. I don't know.
Why is that?
Because every time you play those numbers, you're increasing your chances of those numbers coming again or something.
Because of the algorithm.
Yeah. Show scratchers.
I was waiting for you to talk, dude. I was waiting for you to talk. You didn't say shit.
Oh, here we go. I found the scratchers. Right here. Scratchers.
Oh, is it Pac-Man? Oh, it's Pac-Man. I was going to say Pac-Man, my original thought. See, that's my problem. That's why I always failed tests. I would always second guess myself. I knew it was Pac-Man. I should have said Pac-Man.
Bubble A, Bubble B, Bubble C, Double D?
Do you know
I feel it's Double C, but my heart's telling me it's Double D, and it was Double C or Bubble C.
Bubble C, huh?
You know when you're filling in the bubbles?
Bubble C, Double D. It's a tongue twister. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to add? You want to wrap it up?
Damn.
I feel like I talked the whole time.
No, that's cool. I was listening to you.
You're a great listener, though.
Yeah, I am.
This is real therapy for me. No, it is.
No, it
Fuck
is.
That. It is.
It is for both of us, for myself and like yourself, and hopefully for you. And
hey, we don't script this shit, so it's like sometimes it'll be like this. Like there's gonna be pauses. Like, okay, that's life. It is what it is. I'm not gonna edit shit out. This is real life. We're really just sitting here bullshitting and like picking each other's minds.
Unless a booger flies out of my nose,
I'll call it out, but I'm not gonna edit it. I'll probably leave it in there. Pure content.
It's all as I breathe.
Yeah.
No, thank you for sharing and thank you for being vulnerable. I really do appreciate it.
I got a little vulnerable.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Sometimes you have to listen and allow somebody to vent. And if you guys have anything that you want to vent about or say on how you are living with mental illness,
Give them the email.
Go to what's the email?
I don't know. You have it.
Go to. I don't.
I'll
think
link it. I'll link it below.
Yeah, link it below because I don't think I have it set up yet. I'll double check right now when I get back and I'll.
And check out our last video right here. Go ahead and point at it. I'm gonna put it right in the middle of us.
Oh, okay.
And then you can check out the links down there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I do want to get a little I don't know if you want to go that direction, but I want to get a little more creative, like as far as like the editing
No, let's
goes
do
and
that.
stuff.
No, that's cool.
Like I want to do like stupid shit because I think it's important with the times that we're in now. People need to laugh.
Hell yeah.
And I feel like I'm an idiot, and people laugh at that, and I just come off as funny for whatever reason because I am an idiot. I'm oblivious to it. But my girl says I'm pure entertainment, so
just be you. Hey,
I'm being myself.
I have people tell me that I'm irritating, that I'm too much. They'll even be like, "Hey, okay, Victor."
You've never come off irritating to me though.
It's enough.
Who's telling you
I'm
that?
down. Some people did.
So are you being yourself then?
I'm being myself, and I'm not going to stop.
I don't find you like with me because I don't feel like you're irritating.
Yeah, I'm being myself.
If anything, I'm irritating.
No, you know me already.
Yeah. You're not irritating. You're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, how could you be irritating to somebody?
In fact, you even record even after you're recording. And it's like I trust it. Like I don't even hear the app.
I know I know you don't trip, dude.
I don't trip at all.
This guy is the perfect partner to do anything with because he does not give a fuck like what I do. Like I could completely change the whole concept of the podcast and make it seem like
you could. I'm not even in it.
I edit you out the whole fucking time, dude. He wouldn't even know because he trusts what I'm doing and stuff. But I would never do that.
I do.
Psych. I might do that. No, I won't do that.
You should do one like that.
Did you watch the last one though?
No, I didn't.
Okay, just watch it.
Okay, well.
Just watch it. Let's wrap it up, dude, because my memory card's running low.
All right, guys. Hey.
Okay. We are the PO3 Podcast. My name is Marcus Marx. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode and stay tuned because next week we're dropping another one, episode 14. This is episode 14. So check out the last video, episode 13, and
I'm your brother.